Good morning, 93.5 FM listeners. Good morning, Facebook viewers. My name is Adam Handler. I'm your case handler. I'm a partner of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. We are a full-service law firm here in New York City, downtown Manhattan, with offices also in Brooklyn and Peekskill, New York. Today is Friday. We made it through another week, and a very, very important day for many, many, many Americans. Almost, should I say all Americans. Today is September 11th, 2020. A day that we will never forget, a day that means so many different things to so many different people. And we're here to talk to you today to, bring a little bit of positivity to the day. Let you know how we can help you, how we can change your life, how we can change your family's life, how we can do wonderful things together. But it's very important that everybody out there understands that we are a law firm that will not know about you and the legal problems you have unless you have our number saved. Our phone number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. I'm here today. We've got a full house of wonderful attorneys that not only are my friends and colleagues, but are just great professionals that have been helping many people over the past months during the pandemic, giving those free phone consultations, and of course, helping legalize your status and your family status here in the United States. I personally handle the personal injury cases. They call me the case handler, and you folks now are officially cruising with the case handler. With me this morning, in no order of importance or not, we'll start with ladies first. Andrea Scheer, we call her Scheer, an associate in the immigration department, here to talk to you about what she does here at Pollack, Isaac, DeSico. Of course, we have Conrad, the maestro Pollack. The maestro, we call him not only because he's a talented pianist, but he's also the architect of the firm. He took the practice over from his father about 37 years ago, and went from a small immigration shop to a full-service law firm, taking an entire floor of real estate in downtown Manhattan. And of course, his partner and my partner as well, Nelson, the Maverick Madrid, a partner of the immigration department who really digs deep and works on all immigration cases, but particularly excels in removal proceedings and deportation. So good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning. It's nice to see everybody. A tough day. I know, Conrad, you have your own story about what you went through 19 years ago. In fact, I was just finishing law school. I was in my second year of law school, and on September 10th, 2001, I had met my mom and some friends at Madison Square Garden. We saw Michael Jackson. An unbelievable night. Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 at the Garden, which was, a once in a lifetime experience. And then I was driving back to Boston, and I was on the Tappan Zee Bridge, and I looked to the right and I saw smoke coming from down the Hudson. And that's when I knew something was terribly, terribly wrong. But, we're here to talk about how we can improve your life. And Conrad, I want to welcome you to the show. Good morning. I know a tough day for you, certainly.
Good morning. Yeah, 19 years ago today was a day very similar to today. It was a beautiful blue sky, crisp temperatures. It was a beautiful day. I remember walking to the office, and our office is right around the corner. We're at 225 Broadway, and our office faces the front of the building, the Brooklyn Bridge area, as well as we have windows in the back. So I remember sitting at my desk, as always, at around 10 to 9 or so, I think the first plane hit. And I remember I heard a huge, loud explosion. I felt, the office trembled. And I thought that some bomb went off, something downtown. If you remember back, well, you guys wouldn't remember, you're too young, but there were all kinds of terrorist things going on. And, they had hit the World Trade Center a few years before that. And, there was always a thought, but the last thought on anyone's mind, including myself, was a plane hitting the building. And I heard the explosion. I felt the ground shake under me, and then I started hearing the sirens and so on. And again, I opened my window, I looked down the street, and I saw everybody standing on the corner of Vesey Street, looking down towards the World Trade Center for Broadway. And I went to the back of the office to Schrudy's current office, I think it is, and we could see one of the towers was on fire, and we had a full office at the time, and then I remember we were looking and we watched as the second plane hit the building. We saw it hit, and the force, again, we're pretty close. The force was so strong that I remember we were right at the window there, and it like almost shattered. It felt like it was going to break the window. Everybody like jumped back away from the window because the force was so strong. Because again, we're so close to the World Trade Center, and it was just, everybody was freaking out. But I basically got everybody more or less. Brian and I were there. We got everybody calm, and we stayed. I kept everybody in the office until noon that day. And I remember after the first plane hit, I was still sitting at my desk. It went dark. Looking out my window, you could not see out the window. It went pitch black. And then it happened again the second time when the buildings came down. So what it was, the first building comes down, and all the dust and everything and whatever else was in there, literally. And again, we're around the corner. It went pitch black. You could not see out my window. Twice it happened. It was wild. And of course, we immediately turned off the air conditioning to stop the ventilation. And it was a crazy day. I remember I had to walk to Grand Central. I caught the last train out of the city before they shut down. I remember it very vividly, as you can tell. Crazy day.
And how did the firm operate in the weeks and months after that?
We
Manhattan was shut down.
Well, 225 Broadway, our lobby was a triage center. So basically, this is where they brought a lot of the dead bodies. Our building was shut down. There was no. Did we have an internet then? I don't remember.
Yes, we had internet.
Not much. Phones got shut down. Nothing was working. There was no communication. We did not have, obviously, we didn't have Zoom or any of this VPN stuff. We had no other offices at the time. In fact, it was 9/11 that prompted me to make a decision to get a second office, because we were shut down basically for a month. There were some very helpful people around the city, law firms that let us borrow space, because again, it was so unprecedented. So we had temporary space, very temporary, in some place in Manhattan and in Midtown. And then we found a place in White Plains. So I lived in Westchester at the time, and we found an office in White Plains, and we opened our first office, our first ancillary office in White Plains. And we then moved subsequently to Mamaroneck and so on and so forth. And as a result, we still have an office in Westchester and Peekskill, and we've since opened an office in Brooklyn. But it was a result of 9/11 that forced me. I said, we are never going to get shut down again. And we opened that second office as a result, just in case. And now, having gone through this pandemic these last several months, which is probably the closest thing to 9/11 that I've experienced, it's good that we have all these different locations. Obviously, it's also nice that we have Zoom and we can all work from home, and all, because we didn't have that then. We were shut down. All our files were located in New York City. We couldn't get into New York City, although we were able to find a way in. We knew some people that were able to sneak us in at night to get some of our files out. But it was a crazy time. And as I said, phones weren't working. Our offices were shut down. We had no way to communicate with our clients. It was a crazy time. It was a crazy time. It really was.
Yeah, very sad moment today, ladies and gentlemen, as we, of course, remember what took place ages ago, I would say, September 11th. That marks it for me, gentlemen and lady, for the past almost a week now, right next, literally, to my apartment window, not even 2 feet away, is where the 911 lights are. And that's what I was actually showing you guys. If you look down there, you'll see the configuration that they put up. It's literally next to the building. So I've actually been looking at these lights constantly and the memory that it brings about. And I know, Adam, you had said initially before anyone got on that you can't deal with the doom and gloom and everything, but it's a moment that we actually have to remember as to what took place with over 3,000 lives lost. And it's a very sad moment, very, very sad moment. But we remember, and we will never forget, and we live on and we move on. So I want to say thanks to Conrad for you really relived that for us, man. But we are here today. This show is about personal injury and immigration as we remember. And I want to say thanks for that, Conrad. All right.
Well, I remember coming downstairs again. We stayed till noon because we didn't know what was going on. I mean, it was sirens and just it was just craziness downtown. And I remember coming downstairs. We took the stairs down because we didn't know about the elevators, whether they worked or not. We'll get stuck in them. And I remember coming, and there was a huge phalanx of cops and firemen in our lobby, and they were giving out the little masks. And now they're kind of quaint, there's little surgical masks, but just, the little ones, not like the ones we're using today. And I still have it. I remember I wrote on it 9/11/01. I still have it in my office here as a memory of what happened that day. Because like I said, I had to walk to Grand Central, and I literally caught the last train out of the city. Crazy times, man. Crazy times.
And Andrea, I'll give you your 30 seconds on this. Conrad ate it all the time.
I mean, I also remember the day. I was a kid, but I was in Venezuela, and we watched it on the news. We watched the whole thing happening on the news. But I think the one thing we can remember from it or take from it is how strong the city came back. We're stronger than ever, and it was difficult, but everybody got through it, and we're still there. New York's strong, so I think that's important.
What we're going through now kind of reminds me a little bit of that, because I remember thinking back then, because again, our office is downtown, 225 Broadway. We're very close to Battery Park City, and everybody, first off, I didn't even mention, for weeks, for a month, it smelled. You came downtown around us, and it smelled, I can't even describe what the odor was like, but the entire area just reeked of this metallic, just chemical smell. And it was for a long time. It was well more than a month that smell continued. And I remember how everybody was trying to get out of Battery Park City. You could buy an apartment in Battery Park City back then for nothing. I remember. And, I remember we were talking, Fred and Brian and I, it was just the three of us at the time, and saying, hey, these apartments, they're giving these apartments away. Nobody wants to live here anymore because of the contamination and so on and so forth. Even though everybody was saying, oh, there's no problem and, it's all safe, and which of course we know now it wasn't true. But it reminds me of today, where everybody, same thing. People are looking to get out of New York and go somewhere else and just get away from New York City because of the pandemic. And so I was just watching this morning on television how people from Chicago, from Boston, and New York City are flooding into Florida. And of course, the political ramifications that's going to have as well. But Florida, home sales are up like 700% in Fort Lauderdale.
Why Florida though? Isn't coronavirus like rampant down there?
Well,
they're winning in Florida, let me tell you.
They don't want to be in close proximity to each other like here. Come on, the winter's coming, and everyone's going to be on top of each other in elevators and so on. And all these people, they were interviewing all these people, and home sales are up 700% in Fort Lauderdale and in Palm Springs and all these places. And all of these northern city people are leaving and going down south, at least temporarily. And they're either selling their places here or renting them out. And look, I'm in the real estate market. I've seen the difference. People are looking to get out of New York. Until there's a vaccine, people are looking to get out of New York, which brings us to the political issues, until there's a vaccine. Our current administration, he's saying, oh, well, we're gonna have a vaccine in a month. Everybody take it, so what if you die? It's okay. No problem. Anyway, Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, let's give it our phone number a few times, Squeeze, and let's kind of let everybody know like what we do and how we can help, do some incredible things.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard everything that Conrad has said, and we all have said about 911. Want to thank each and every one for tuning into Cruising with a Case Handler, showing personal injury and immigration as we remember what took place in 911. With that said, we are still the greatest country in the world, in my opinion. We still have the greatest amount of opportunities here. And we do believe that each and every one reserve the right, of course, to get the opportunity to sort out their legal status here in the United States. Also, God forbid you get hurt in an accident. Of course, we've got the best attorney, in my opinion, that can handle your accident case. And that happens to be, of course, respectively for immigration, we've got the Conrad Pollacks, the Nelson Madrids, the Andreas, and of course, for personal injury, we've got the Adam Handler with the Matt Goodstein and beyond. With that said, I'd like for you all to have this phone number. The number is 844-774-3529. Just by, of course, the passion of the boss man himself, Conrad Pollack, you can hear how passionate he is about things. So dial the number, get yourself a 100% free phone consultation today. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. We want to talk about the positives today. As much as we are remembering what took place back then, we want to talk about the positives to let people know that life is not just about doom and gloom. Life is also about the positive sides of what it is that we can do for our people, the immigrant community and beyond. Andrea is an immigrant. I am an immigrant, okay? And of course, we've got great attorneys here helping out the immigrant community. And that's what we want to do. You are an immigrant, Andrea. How do you feel about being an immigrant in this country? You are an attorney working for probably the best law firm in the nation. How do you feel about that, knowing that so much has happened to this country, so much has happened to you throughout your life, but here you are thriving, helping a lot of people?
I feel like we got the American dream, My parents we got here only 15 years ago, and then luckily we were able to get our legal papers really quickly. And my parents, whenever they say, oh, my daughter's a lawyer in New York City, people are like, oh, wow, so it's a lot of people that are not immigrants haven't been able to do that. So it's like, it feels like you can do it if you work hard. You actually have the opportunity to become, whatever you want to become. So
that's definitely true. And that's how I feel about it also. And Adam, how do you feel about helping immigrants who are out of status get into major accidents and you sending back home to their respective countries, and even here, hundreds of thousands of, if not millions of dollars with our immigrant community? How do you feel as an attorney that's been helping them for 15 years?
Well, you know how I feel. I mean, it's a privilege and it's an honor. I've always been a fan of the underdog. I've always been somebody that's stuck up for individuals that, could be victims twice. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're injured in an accident and you're out of status here in the United States, or just having come to the United States and not knowing where to turn, you can be the victim 3 times. The victim of the accident, the victim of getting screwed over, and the victim of not having the wherewithal to know how to obtain justice. So we're here for you. Today's a perfect example of you just never know when disaster is going to strike. You never know when everything will just be completely turned upside down forever. And I have individuals that on a daily basis are calling me that are in horrible, horrible accidents that literally are going to change their lives for the foreseeable future, if not indefinitely. Back injuries that put you out of work for the rest of your life and you don't know how you're going to make ends meet. I have cases involving death. An individual recently was on a motorcycle, was hit by a vehicle that ran a stop sign. He died from his injuries. He's got 2 small children. And this family now is counting on our firm to make sure that we can get fair compensation for all their losses. Of course, nothing will ever bring this gentleman back, but in the United States, your only remedy in a civil case, your only remedy in an injury case is money. You can't unbreak a back. You can't put somebody back to work. You can't bring back a loved one. that has tragically lost their life, but you can be held accountable and you can pay. And that's what our job is, getting you the most money possible in those situations: medical bills, time out of work, and of course, the pain and suffering you're going through. But as I said earlier in the show, whether it's a personal injury case or an immigration matter or a criminal defense matter, we're a full service law firm. We do not know you're out there. We don't hang out at the courts. We don't hang out at the emergency rooms. We don't have runners coming up to you at the scene of the accident saying, hey, you should go with these guys. It just doesn't happen. So unless you have our number saved, we'll never know you're out there. We'll never know that you need legal solutions that we can provide to you when you have those legal problems. And our phone number, again, is 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain, because retaining my services for a personal injury case costs you nothing out of pocket. I work on a contingency fee, meaning I get paid if and only if I'm successful for you. So there's no risk to you at all, no reason why you shouldn't have what you believe to be the best possible attorney fighting for you and your family. And same thing for the immigration. If you're sitting there listening right now on 93.5 FM, or watching us live on Facebook, and you have any question whatsoever, I don't care how silly you think that question is regarding your immigration status or your family's immigration status here in the United States of America, you'd be, and I'm sorry to sound harsh, you'd be a fool not to pick up the phone and give us a call. Because again, the phone call is free. The consultation is free. We've done hundreds of consultations since the pandemic hit over the phone. Andrea's done it. Nelson's done it. Conrad's done it. Shrudi's done it. Alexandra's done it. Yi has done it. We really are here for you. We really are trying to give back to the community that's embraced us for so many years by giving this free information out. So please, ladies and gentlemen, either wait for the show to be done and call us, or just call us right now. Call the number. Let us know. Let us tell you how we can help you and your family, regardless of what your legal problems are. 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. We're encouraging each and everyone out there to reach out to the firm. Do remember the consultation is 100% free. And the phone number, once again, is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Reach out to them today, ladies and gentlemen. And Nelson, I know I didn't make you speak a lot, but, how do you feel, or what was one of your proudest moments where you actually helped a client with their immigration status?
We've got a case going on right now that I've spoken about in the past. Basically, the immigration judge ordered our client removed. I explained to my client, I thought the judge was a relatively new judge. I thought the judge had made several mistakes. Long story short, that case went all the way up to the Second Circuit, which is the highest court in the state of New York. And the case is back before the original immigration judge on remand. My client was just transferred from Buffalo over to Hudson County because we have to appear before that same immigration judge, who I believe made mistakes. That is definitely a very, very proud and good moment. My client obviously trusted me, believed in me, and we've got the case back before the same immigration judge that ordered him removed, and that's always a good outcome,
Beautiful. And that's what the show is all about. I'm getting so much solid, positive feedback from you guys as to how you have helped out the immigrant community and, others out there in this world, that is struggling. And it's great to have excellent, phenomenal attorneys that's been around for a while helping out people. A lot of people out there truly needs the help. There's a huge void out there with immigration. There was a huge void out there within the Caribbean community when it comes to accident cases. Adam Handler actually filled that. So I'm very proud of this firm. Yes, in the capacity of personal injury and immigration, but also in other areas. We spoke about real estate law and business law earlier, as Conrad mentioned that. And of course, we've got criminal defense, We've got family law and much more. So I want everyone to understand that this is a full service law firm. All right. If you need any help with legal, you make sure you reach out to this firm. And their number, once again, is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Before we get to the top, Adam, I need for you to just not even show, just talk about one of your favorite cases where a true success story is concerned, where you have helped an individual who was in an accident.
Favorite cases, that's like saying which is your favorite child. It's hard to say. Favorite cases, exciting cases are obviously those multi-million-dollar cases.
You don't have a favorite child, right?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Yeah,
I know your wife's listening. I just want to make sure. All right.
And I don't need
to call the Stacy soon. All right. Okay.
Exactly. A case that really I felt was important was a case we did several years ago against the MTA. We got a verdict of nearly $4 million. That was a case in which the MTA caused a very, very serious accident. It was one bus hitting another bus. And the reason why that case really stands out is because there was tragic injuries. I mean, terrible, horrific knee injury requiring surgery and a lifetime of medical care, therapy, and probably surgery down the road. And they just, never really wanted to pay more than $1 million. Now, $1 million is a lot of money. And I remember when the case was on trial in Queens, I think they had actually come up to $1.5 million, which, again, $1,500,000 is life-changing. I mean, that's tax-free money. And I put it to the client. I said, I really believe your case is worth much more than this. What do you want to do? And she grabbed my hand and she said, you're my attorney for a reason. I trust you. I trust your counsel. I believe in your skills. If you think that the jury's going to award more money than this, then I'm willing, to stand side by you and put it in their hands. And man, talk about pressure. I mean, that's, an incredible amount of pressure put on somebody, not only because of her faith in me, but because I have to really come through and judge this correctly. And we made the right decision. Like I said, the jury gave almost $4 million. And that was just, there's a Yiddish expression, chutzpah. I mean, it was really amazing what we did for her. And that's a case I remember the whole family was in the courtroom for that verdict because they had been through so much with her over the several years, taking care of her, helping her shower and get dressed. And when that verdict came in, there was probably about 10 people crying in the audience. So much that when the case was over that day, the court officer that was, in the courtroom during the trial said to me, if I ever get into an accident, there's one individual I'm calling, because he saw it all go down. So that was just one of thousands of stories that I have, but something that certainly stood out for me because just the emotion and the power that took place in that courtroom. And that's the place where I truly feel the most comfortable. As much fun as this Zoom is, it's nothing when you're in your suit and you're
in the zone. When you're in the zone. And I know when you're in front of the jury, that's when you're in the zone, right?
You're prepared, you're confident, and then it's showtime. And you're going to do a good job for your client and their family.
And I know you love that stage, man. That's the reason why I would only pick you. All right. Adam's a star all the way. That's the reason why he's the most celebrated personal injury attorney in the Caribbean community. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, dial his number, call it right now. Let it ring for a few seconds and store it. The number, once again, is 844-774-3529, 844-774-3529. We're about to get to questions. So once again, remember to place those questions for immigration in the comment section in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much, Adam, for the personal injury section. 844-774-3529, our superstar, the case handler. I will still and forever call him the shark. 844-774-3529. All right, so let's get to some questions right now. Flipping to immigration. All right, let's see if we can stump one of these immigration attorneys today. Hates it when I say that, huh? Okay, all right, so let's jump into it. Stumper question. Right. My mom is a permanent resident green card holder and is currently stuck outside of the United States because of the pandemic. She was supposed to fly back to the US in March 2020. I canceled her flight for obvious reasons and don't want her to arrive before it's solid safe. She's 67.
It's 10 o'clock.
In the end of September 2020, it will be 1 year after she left the US. Question is, what is the document form we shall take care of to assure USCIS that she intends to keep her status and intends to come back whenever it's possible? Affidavit of some sort, maybe? I can answer that one. I'm just kidding. I'm not, but I'll let you guys.
Did she say she has her green card?
Yeah, her mom is a green card holder. Basically, her mom is outside of the United States with a green card,
right. And she's been out for more than a year.
Right. They don't want her. They don't want her to travel because of the pandemic. All right. So they're saying,
First off, if the consulate is open, they should go into the American consulate and let them know exactly what's going on, that she wants to go back, but they haven't because of that. This is the reason. Right. Typically, you have a green card, you have to be back in the United States at least once a year. You live here permanently. So if you've been out of the United States in normal circumstances for more than a year, you lose your green card. That's why first thing they should do is go to the consulate and let them know. The only reason she's still there is because because of the pandemic and so on, which they're not alone. I mean, it's a common situation. Number one. Number two, I would get on the plane as soon as they're ready and try to come back with the card, with whatever kind of documentation to show that they did contact the consulate in advance. Also that they have a permanent residence in the United States that they.
Can they just file for that what do you call it? That allowed them to see.
They can also do something called a returning resident visa. They can apply for that in the consulate, and maybe with that document they would be able to enter without an issue if they stayed after a year.
But when they arrive at the airport, they want to be on the safe side and be able to show that they didn't intend to abandon their residence, meaning they need to show that they have contacts in the United States, that they have a job here, they have property here, they have money in the bank here, they pay their taxes here. I would suggest being prepared to demonstrate that you never had any intention to stay out of the United States for a year other than the pandemic, and that's what kept you out. And look, here are all my contacts. Here, my life is here, not in Jamaica or wherever. All right, that I would be prepared to show that when you arrive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The number to call is 844-774-3529. If you're watching Facebook, could you do us a favor, please, everybody? Could you just share the show that you're watching right now? Just share it with as many people. Find some groups, join some groups, share it in some groups, pages, timelines, whatever. All right. We do appreciate you.
Squeeze, something to think about also in circumstances where people deliberately want to stay out for more than a year. If you have a green card and you want to stay out or have to stay out for more than a year, you need to get a reentry permit. You can apply for a reentry permit if you're in the United States. You can't do it from outside the United States. You got to be here to do it. But you can file it and then you can leave. But you can apply for a reentry permit if you're here and then leave with your green card for up to 2 years. And you don't have to come back at all for 2 years. And you could do it again after that and get another 2 years if you like. So that a reentry permit, again, if you're in the United States,
it has to be done from within the United States. Now I know. Okay. That's what I was saying.
You have to be here to do it though.
Gotcha. All right. So here's another question. 844-774-3529, the number for Pollack, Isaac, and Seco, PPID. Question 2. I have concerns about my DV lottery case. I won the lottery in 2018 to 2019, but lost it at the level of interview because I added my kids at the level of the DS-260 form, which was not included at the initial start. I accepted my fault, but after that ugly situation, I wanted to take my children with me since I was not married with the mom, but she then told me the kids was never mine, but she just wanted to seize the opportunity for a better life for the kids. Interesting. Fortunately for me, I still won this year and the kids was not included. The embassy really already have my data page from the last interview. Can this handicap my chances for not getting the visa? I did not add the kids again in my program.
Yeah, you can go ahead and apply for the DV lottery. If you got selected again for this year, you need to get it in. You need to be complete. The application process needs to be completed by the end of September. So you only have a couple of weeks. Better hurry up. Whether the kids are part of it or not is irrelevant. You don't want to include the kids, don't. Just get your application. You have to finish by September 30th.
Okay. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're here cruising with a case handler. I was showing personal injury and immigration. All right. Another immigration question. My case is complicated. I was adopted in October 2014 and was filed I-485 and I-130 in 8/2016. I received the RFE on 3/2018 and submitted it in 6/18. A lot of numbers here. A lot of dates rather. I got a denial notice on September the 3rd. In the denial notice, I figured out that my attorney submitted an unauthentic letter of my original country's central government. This letter is to let the USCIS know that my country's central government has confirmed my case. They were asking my parents for $2,000 for this letter, and it turned out that they were scammed by them. The attorney also submitted the I-485 application 2 months earlier than the 2-year requirement from after the adoption was finalized until the application is filed. Sorry, guys, this is pretty long. My parents are desperate and disappointed because we have placed faith in them for over 6 years and have spent so much money. Is there any organization that can help us to report the scam? I'm thinking to hire another attorney to help us proceed with the case. We have a few days, we have 33 days from September to file the notice of appeal, a motion.
That's a lot in that fact pattern. If it was an attorney that helped them, they can report them to the bar. They have to look up the attorney's name and where they practice, and they can find where they're practiced and licensed. And they can do, if they want to do a complaint, they would do it with the character and fitness committee of the bar. That would be that for that reason. For immigration purposes, they can try to argue ineffective assistance of counsel, but
will that help them with their immigration situation? Will that help them with their immigration situation?
I don't know, because it's so complicated. I would need to look at the documents.
I think they actually should call, because time is of the essence where this is concerned.
Exactly.
844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. That's Andrea, one of the attorneys at the firm speaking. Give a call. All right. Here's a final question. Please, if a child is born in the U.S. and taken to Africa to be with his dad, and since then she hasn't returned to the U.S., please, can the child file for all her child's benefit from the first year till the 6th year? Because she's 6 years old now. Please, I would need clarity on this because I've been thinking about it lately. That's from the WhatsApp group.
What kind of benefits? They should also call, because it's not very clear what kind of benefits they mean. Okay.
All right. 844-774-3529. Now remember, people, call. The consultation is free. One more question, Andrea or Nelson or Conrad. Good afternoon. Good morning. My question is, can my daughter who recently become a citizen, this was from yesterday evening in the WhatsApp group, can my daughter who recently become a citizen file for me? I am here since 1993 and got married and got work permit and Social Security. I came in the country illegal.
It would depend. If the wife has status, then he would need a waiver for entering illegally. And if his daughter petitions for him, the daughter is not a qualifying relative for the waiver. So he would need either a parent or a spouse that has status to be their qualifying relative. It's a very complicated process. So it depends on whether or not he has other relatives that have status. But the daughter can petition and the petition can be approved, but he will be just kind of stuck there. He wouldn't be able to move forward with the green card without a waiver.
Okay. All right. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The number is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Give a ring to, of course, the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. I can see the attorneys already working in their office. The Nelson Madrid thumbing through the stack of papers in his office. All right. Adam Handler on the phone. Andrea rearing to go take some immigration questions off the air. Conrad with his head down, he's hunkered down, saying, hey, I got work to do here. Squeeze, wrap this up. But I want to say thanks to each and every one for sharing on Facebook. I want to say thanks to you, Andrea. Of course, you're the lady of the show. I want to say thanks to Adam Handler, who's on the phone. I'm quite sure with that client right now, the case handler, the shark, the man who fights for you when you get in an accident. I want to say thanks to Nelson Madrid, Conrad. Thank you so much for doing this wonderful show. Reminding everyone, 844-774-3529. There are still many, many benefits for a lot of people out there who are immigrants. Just reach out to the firm, 844-774-3529. Thank you all. Have yourself.
Thank you so much. We'll get through today. We get through every day, and have a great weekend, everybody. And just please remember, we are here for you. I can't stress enough. We're doing this show. Listen, we enjoy ourselves, but we can each other. We can certainly hang out in our office and do this, and we're doing it every day. I mean, hours and hours and hours a week getting the message out. I can't stress enough how we're here, how we want to help, how we're here to help, and how really you can get your questions answered for free. You just have to have that number saved right here. Oh, there it is.
There you go. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Have an amazing weekend.
Likewise.